Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speak Easy, Daily Conversations. I'm Olivia, and today's episode is going to be a little different. It's not just about practicing English, it's about something deeper, something more personal, something that many people think about, but don't always talk about openly.
And I'm Ethan. Yes, today we're going to explore identity, purpose, and confidence. These are not simple topics, and they don't have clear answers, but they are very important because they shape the way we live, the way we think, and even the way we speak.
I think this episode might feel a little emotional for some people because these are the kinds of questions that stay in your mind for a long time. Questions like, who am I really? What am I doing with my life? And why do I sometimes feel unsure of myself?
Exactly. And I think it's important to say this at the beginning. If you feel confused sometimes, if you feel lost, or if you don't have everything figured out, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It actually means you're thinking, you're growing, and you're becoming more aware.
That's such an important reminder because sometimes people think that confidence means always being sure, always knowing the answer. But maybe that's not true.
Yes, I don't think real confidence means having all the answers. I think it means being okay with not having all the answers and still moving forward.
Ethan, let me ask you something deeper. When you think about identity, what does it really mean to you?
For me, identity is not just one thing. It's not just your job, your background, or your personality. It's a combination of your experiences, your values, your thoughts, and the way you see yourself in the world. And the interesting thing is, it's always changing.
That's interesting. So you don't see identity as something fixed?
Not at all. I think identity evolves over time. The person you were 5 years ago is not exactly the same person you are today. You've learned new things, you've experienced different situations, and those experiences slowly shape who you are.
I feel that very strongly. Sometimes I look back at my past self and I realize how different I was, not just in what I did, but in how I thought and how I saw the world.
Exactly. And I think that's something people don't always realize. They expect themselves to have a clear and stable identity, but in reality, growth means change.
Let's connect this to language learning. Do you think learning English can affect someone's identity?
Absolutely. When you learn a new language, you're not just learning words, you are learning a new way to express yourself. And sometimes that can make you feel like a different version of yourself.
Yes, I've felt that. Sometimes when I speak English, I feel like I'm not fully myself. Not because I don't know who I am, but because I can't express everything the way I want.
That's very common. You might feel less confident, less expressive, or even quieter than you usually are. And that can be frustrating because you know there's more inside you, but you can't fully show it yet.
That feeling can be quite emotional, actually. It's like you're trying to show your personality, but it doesn't come out clearly.
Yes, but over time, as your language improves, something interesting happens. You start to feel more comfortable, more natural, and eventually, your real personality begins to come through again.
Let's talk about purpose now. This is something that many people struggle with. What does purpose really mean?
I think purpose is often misunderstood. People think it has to be something big, something extraordinary, something that defines their entire life. But I don't think it has to be like that.
So, how do you see it?
I see purpose as something more flexible. It's about having a sense of direction, something that gives meaning to your actions. It doesn't have to be perfect or permanent. It can change as you grow.
That's a very comforting way to think about it, because I think many people feel pressured to find their life purpose, and when they don't have it, they feel lost.
Yes, and that pressure can actually make things worse. Instead of exploring, they start overthinking. Instead of taking action, they stay stuck.
I've experienced that before, thinking too much about the big picture and feeling overwhelmed, instead of just focusing on what I can do right now.
Exactly. And I think sometimes the best way to find purpose is not to search for it directly, but to build it through your actions.
That's very powerful. So purpose is something you create, not something you find?
Yes, it grows from what you do consistently, from what you care about, and from the impact you want to have, even in small ways.
I like that. It makes purpose feel more realistic and less intimidating. Now, let's talk about confidence, because I think this is something that almost everyone struggles with at some point. Why do you think confidence is so difficult for people?
I think one of the biggest reasons is comparison. When you compare yourself to others, especially people who seem more successful, more confident, or more experienced, you start to focus on what you lack.
And that can slowly affect how you see yourself.
Exactly. You begin to doubt your abilities, even if you are actually capable. And over time, that doubt can become a habit.
I think social media plays a role in that too. You see people at their best, and you start to question yourself.
Yes, and another reason is fear of judgment. People are afraid of being wrong, afraid of making mistakes, and afraid of what others might think.
That's especially true in language learning. Many people don't speak because they're afraid of sounding wrong.
Exactly. But here's the truth. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after.
That's such a powerful idea. Can you explain that more?
Yes, many people think they need to feel confident before they try something. But in reality, confidence is built through experience. You try, you fail, you learn, and slowly you become more comfortable.
So confidence is a result, not a starting point.
Exactly. Every time you do something difficult, every time you step out of your comfort zone, you build confidence little by little.
Let's imagine a situation. Someone says, I don't feel confident speaking English because I'm afraid people will judge me. How would you respond?
I would say, I understand how you feel. That fear is very real, and many people experience it. But most people are not judging you as much as you think. In fact, many people respect you for trying.
That's very true.
And I would add, if you wait until you feel completely confident, you might never start. So it's better to start now, even if you feel unsure.
I want to go deeper into something. Have you ever felt like you didn't know who you were anymore?
Yes. I think many people experience that at certain points in life, especially during times of change. You might feel like the old version of yourself doesn't fit anymore, but the new version is not fully clear yet.
That sounds like a very uncomfortable place to be.
It is, but I think it's also a very important stage. It means you are in the process of becoming something new.
That's a beautiful way to see it. Before we end, I want to ask one final question. If someone feels lost, unsure about their identity, their purpose, and their confidence, what would you say to them?
I would say, it's okay to feel lost sometimes. It doesn't mean you're going in the wrong direction. It means you are in the middle of growth. And growth is not always clear or comfortable.
That's very powerful.
And I would remind them that they don't need to figure everything out right now. They just need to keep moving, keep learning, and trust that things will become clearer over time.
Let's reflect on today's conversation.
Yes,
Identity is not something fixed.
it is something that evolves.
Purpose is not something you find instantly.
It is something you build.
Confidence is not something you wait for.
It is something you create through action.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Keep growing, keep exploring, and don't be afraid to question yourself.
And remember,
You are not lost.
you are becoming.
See you in the next episode of Speak Easy, Daily Conversations.
Take care.